Hello everybody, and welcome back to the final episode of an open and honest conversation about homeschooling. So in this video we wrap up with talking about what the moms would say to the mom who has guilt that she can't homeschool, what advice they have for moms who want to homeschool but their children don't want to leave their friends at public school, and then last but not least we're going to talk about the mom's opinions and thoughts on public school teachers. So tune in for that in just a minute. I'll timestamp all of those topics of conversation below in the video description so you can jump straight to it if you'd like to hear something specific. Otherwise, thumbs up, comment in the comment section below with any thoughts or feedback. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and definitely click that notification bell if you guys want to be notified when a new video is released on our channel. So enjoy the final episode. These moms were fantastic. I can't say enough good things about them. I really enjoyed my time interviewing them. Here we go.
I have two questions for him before we finish. One, I would say, what would you say to the parent that has guilt that they can't homeschool?
It's okay. You still love your kids.
And just because you can't homeschool full-time doesn't mean you can't pick one thing to teach them.
That's a great point.
Yeah.
Maybe what you teach them is that every Sunday we have lunch together, and that's the thing that you build the foundation in. You teach them the food and you teach them the meal. Or maybe it's colors and you paint really well and you spend an hour once a week with your kid painting a picture. Like you have an opportunity, great or small. Start small. There's no guilt.
It's not for everybody, just like breastfeeding.
Yeah, it's not
Just
for
like, you know,
everybody.
it isn't for sure.
It's it doesn't make you any less of a parent.
Yeah, exactly.
And you know, it's we all love our children. We do to the best of our abilities. You know, there were times I questioned myself because I was working 40+ hours, and you know, is my child going to get the best education that he needs? You know, as a dual parent kind of person, I don't like to say single parent because, I don't know, that seems to like conjure up a picture. Maybe it's myself. It's like, oh, poor single parent, you know. No, I embrace that. You know, I've taken my son out hunting, you know, and I got to watch and witness him.
You call yourself a dual parent, and I like that. It's very cool.
Witness him bring a moose in, you know, his first moose, and you know,
And the pictures were amazing
and
too.
you know, take him fishing, and you know, being able to help harvest. You know, we've done some gardening. Part of me, I'd rather work in overtime than deal with the bugs and stuff out in the garden. Because you know, I can make that cash.
Yeah.
And sometimes I feel bad about that because, like, well, I'm not having that connection to the land because I'm not out there, you know, they say, you know, getting all the good stuff from the earth, but, you know, I'm bringing in the money, paying the insurance and, you know, that kind of thing.
If he has an interest in gardening, we're not going to stop him from that. He's going to get out there and dig in the dirt.
And there's this super funny conversation about goats. Like, I have a friend who raises tons of goats. She does lots of teaching, and she goes, there's 4 rules with goats. If you can't come home from work and see a fence torn down and a goat standing on your roof, and you can't mentally go, okay, this happened yesterday, I'm going to take a deep breath, I'm going to address the fence, I'm not going to eat dinner, I'm going to take care of that first. Same thing goes for homeschooling your kids. If you can't answer the same question 300 times without getting ticked off, you may not be the person to homeschool your kid. It's not a deficit in you. It's a skill you don't have. You might acquire it, but it's one you don't have right now.
Yeah, that's true.
We all have gifts and talents.
Yeah.
So,
I think because I know it's YouTube, so you don't get a bunch of like hate messages. How do we feel about public school teachers as
Depends on the
individuals?
teacher.
Yeah, we're not.
Yeah.
I would say not against.
Again,
Anti-teacher,
maybe
anti-system.
Yeah.
I definitely went to
It's the
7 years
system.
of public school with my own children. I graduated from high school
I had
and went to a year of
incredible
college. I
Were-
love
yeah.
school.
Well, you were
I have a
homeschooled. I,
lot
know
of
that.
respect
You
for-
went to
for-
public school.
I'm
all
a
night?
I'm a product of public school.
Product of public school.
Yeah, I graduated from high school.
So many years of public
Yes,
Public school.
same.
And becoming an adult. it was-
Obviously, we turned out okay.
No,
but,
okay-ish.
Not okay.
well, with the exception of watching
now because of homeschooling.
I think public school and public school teachers are responding to the demands of society rather than the desires of their heart.
I
They
agree with that. They
all
get frustrated in the classroom.
Want
I think
to
they're
help these kids.
yeah.
And at one point, they get asked to do one more simple thing, and it seems like an easy ask. And then one more thing, and one more thing, and you wake up one day, and it's too much.
Or they get stomped on.
In a
for-
lot of respects, yeah, they're backed into a corner and they don't have the options
They
to
don't.
do A, B,
And
and
they
C.
don't have the resources
Several
or
of the
support or
ladies
community system.
that were in our homeschool group in Wheeling were public school teachers, and they just said, there's no way I'm sitting against the public school. Or something. Or, I mean, they were just overloaded themselves.
Yeah.
I mean, they have an extremely hard job. One person in a classroom with 20 to 35 people.
Absolutely not. Yeah.
It just, to me, that is
And at least
crazy.
half of them are looking at them going, you're an idiot, and I'm not listening to you.
And I'll tell you, I mean, I know a lot of public school teachers. There's several public school teachers who go to my church. They're wonderful people who have a tremendous heart for
Yeah.
kids.
Yeah.
God love them.
Yeah.
Praise the Lord for them.
I never wanted to be one.
But
I never wanted to be a teacher.
no,
I just woke up one day and was like, oh, this is next.
I'm a mom. I guess
I guess I get to do this next. Okay.
And your question earlier about the 24/7 being home with your kids, we get more of a break than public school teachers do.
yeah.
They have to be on every minute of every second that they're in that classroom.
I noticed that because, well, like, I noticed that kind of in the conversation that it does seem like maybe the school days are shorter at home.
Oh, for sure.
Because
yeah.
you're more focused
We're
on
doing
You don't have
3 hours.
You don't have
No
to do the hallway,
transitions.
no
Yeah.
transitions.
You get
between
quiet
classes.
time.
Yeah.
You could take a
Her
nap.
kids still take a nap.
Yeah.
My 15-year-old takes a nap. Every day from 1 to 2 is sustained silent reading time, at which point all of the children that are capable of reading and don't want to nap, read or nap, depending on interest. From 2 to 3, you may do arts and crafts time
I am so
individually.
freaking jealous.
In your room, and if you come out,
Maybe I'm going to include this in my routine.
So from 1 to 3, and at 3 o'clock we have tea and snack. And when we ring the bell at 3, you are allowed to come out of your room. But from 1 to 3, I will not see you. And you will not make a sound, because if you wake up, your 6-year-old this is mommy's private time.
And one last question. I remember having this as kind of a bonus question on Instagram from a mom. There's a mom that follows me on Instagram that is interested and really, really wants to homeschool her child who is currently in public school, but the child is very much against it because they don't want to be away from their friends. Do you guys have any advice for that mom?
Social media. There are so many ways to connect.
Yeah.
Whether it's a letter or a phone call or Instagram or Facebook or
Be
TikTok
intentional.
or email
To connect them.
or play dates. If you make an effort, you will see that person in a more valuable way than seeing them for 3 to 6 hours throughout the day, whatever classes you might have, and occasionally passing it out or trying to text
Couple minutes in the
underneath.
hall between class.
Well-
And it's really
Are they friends or are they acquaintances by proximity?
exactly.
So my eldest, who was in public school for several years, she like lamented, I
Oh.
left all my
the
friends.
sadness.
And we connected in social groups in the homeschool community. And now at 13, she can articulate that I was friends with them because we were in the same class. But we didn't actually have anything in common. I didn't really know them because I wasn't actually allowed to talk to them very much other than on the playground for recess.
And some of them may be frenemies. Like, it may be a really unhealthy situation for your
Especially with
child, but
girls.
you think they think they're their friend, and they're really being abused all day.
Right.
So maybe once they've been taken out of that situation, and she may try, for that mom, maybe the first month of next year's school, the kid doesn't go. She doesn't have to commit to the everything.
Homeschooling doesn't have
Generally
to be forever.
speaking, when And I've heard veteran moms tell this many times to new homeschooling families when they quit the public school system and start homeschooling.
There's a book.
There is, take time. Don't jump from school right into school.
Yeah.
Take time, a good month, maybe 2 months.
Took us a year.
Don't
Yeah.
start school.
Mm-mm.
Go on field trips.
Chillax.
Enjoy your
We
child.
had to relearn how to be in the same
Enjoy.
room together.
Yeah, read books together, watch movies together, sleep in, snuggle, go on a field trip,
Learn
go
who
have
your
lunch.
kids are.
You know, go
Yeah,
do
the big
these
one.
things
Let your kids know who you are.
and really have some good
Not all
quality
things bad.
bonding time with your child before you start into this whole school
So
thing.
some of the best transition tools are quality time and intentional socialization. It
Exactly.
seems like.
Do not
So
go
when
from
we
one to
left,
one.
we left in 2017. My oldest had been in public school for 7 years. She had a really awesome community. She had really great friends. And all of our family, generational family, great grandparents and cousins, aunts, uncles, the whole bit. We left everyone. So when we got to northern Maine, my children were devastated. And they went through this phase where they wrote letters and they called their friends and they sent emails and they texted and they reached out through what kind of social media do you use? Do you use a Discord server or do you play Minecraft? Or we have, I have a 9-year-old and an 8-year-old that play Minecraft with their friends who live in another state Saturdays and Sundays for an hour. They get on, they have FaceTime, they play the game together, and they talk. And even though that friend has been gone for 2 years, it's like they never left.
And you can
Now-
monitor it too.
And my 15-year-old, she recognized within the first year that all of those people that she thought were her friends, and I was a military brat, so I already knew what was coming.
Mhm.
All those people that she thought were her friends, she was more devastated when she realized that loss, that it was just because of that
It
proximity.
was a very one-sided friendship.
And,
at that
well,
point.
and I
It's
told
the
her, I was like,
proximity of
you
you guys
guys,
being in class together.
Right,
we
in the same
left.
grade.
Yeah.
For them, their life continued. Their life stayed the same. We're the ones that left them. For them, it's just an empty seat. For us, it's an empty life. Now you need to rebuild that life. But do it intentionally. Make friends, and it takes time. Just like it took us time to build those friendships, it took you 7 years to become really good friends with that person. Give yourself the same amount of time.
And oh my goodness, the life skills. Like, my daughter has a calendar. I'm going to talk to this friend at this time on this day.
Yeah, my
and they're
kids
going to.
literally
yeah.
keep schedules
Uh-huh.
when they're hanging out or visiting.
And it is a rough transition, and it's hard. But it's,
But it's
hard.
doable.
but it's
It's
important.
It was hard
And
for us
it's
to
really important.
leave Wheeling, just leave our church family and our homeschool family. That
Yeah.
I mean, my kids have been part of that homeschool
My
group
kids
their
were
whole
sad.
lives,
They
and it was, you know, it was tough. And my kids left at a tough age.
Yeah.
You know, Tabitha, it wasn't as hard for her, but Emma and Levi especially, he really struggled.
But if you're prepared for it and you know it's coming.
And it's no
Just
different
breathe in,
than,
breathe. Well, I mean,
it's
that's
no
how,
different
like
than
you
military
said,
families.
we're military families. Yep.
Yeah.
I didn't transition the type of schooling that I got. I was in public school the whole time.
Sure. But it's still the same
But they'll tell
transition.
you, when we moved from Florida, where I had all my horseback riding friends and everything, we moved to Germany. My life was over. My
Yeah,
world
that's exactly
had
what it is.
ended.
I moved from Florida
I
to
hated
Colorado.
them for what they were doing to me.
Yes, ma'am.
Yes, they ruined my life.
Oh, yeah.
I
A couple months later, we're doing okay.
We're
And
doing
then,
all right.
You know, 20 years later, I'm looking back and going, that was really awesome. That was
a good
I didn't
experience.
miss out on anything.
I
thing is
changed.
Yeah.
We pivoted.
The thing that
pivoted. My
kids
friends were-
don't realize when they're in school is this is not your whole life.
Yeah.
You know, and kids,
It feels
you know,
like
it feels like it, but it isn't your whole life. You're, you know, it's just it's a
And as
season.
And as
in your
adults,
life.
we recognize that
Yeah.
for you, it's your whole life to this point. This is the bigger picture,
Yeah.
and we're working toward this. Today, I can look down the if-then statements and see where you're gonna end up. I don't like it. So,
Yeah.
this is where we're heading. This is where I wanna go. Pivot.
So who is concerned or wondering about, oh my gosh, my kid's gonna miss winter formal or prom or...
Girl,
We
I'm
didn't
gonna
even
make
think about that.
I'm gonna
Can
make
we do that?
Yeah,
My
we're gonna do
my
this.
Audrey is like, I want to go to a school dance. I was like, I'm going to a school dance, kid.
Girl,